Dun 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 dun. Middle of the afternoon Friday. I have some new stuff that I wanted to just share with some friends. So I'm starting my little short live early. Hopefully my friends will come in and see me here live. The ones that are in Europe right now and it's not all that late for them, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's about 9, 10 p.m. I have another live later on today at 7 p.m. So I'm just going to use this time to talk about something that I grabbed this week. Probably 10 or 20 minutes, depending on who shows up live. And then we'll just go from there. So the first things first, and I'm probably not going to get a lot of live friends on right now, but the first things first is I added these 8-way individually switched power bars behind my system. One, the spacing is a little bit better for audiophile stuff. True Voice of Reason's here. Thank you, sir, for being the first one and maybe the only one hanging out today. It's a little bit earlier than usual. So I have some new cables. That's what I want to showcase. And I'm showing off the previous ones. These are the ones that I got from Amazon. They're like Netgear or something like that. They're 12 gauge, 10 feet. Kind of had enough of them. And the power bars are 8 by 3 prongs, so they have some space between them that allows me to get the extra large plugs in side by side. So I've got power amp, subwoofer, and then 2 of the sets of lights, so I can actually turn them off one at a time and it doesn't affect anything else. So I can leave the subs and amps and all that stuff on and turn the lights off, say for testing purposes, whatever the case may be. If I have powered bookshelves in here, which I can power my book card audios, all that other stuff, I can turn them all on individually. Now, the only thing that I might want to do is, because they both come from an outlet that's over here. There it is. So they both come from there on 10-foot cables. What I might want to do is put a conditioner, like a proper conditioner there. That way both of them are controlled and power conditioned that way. So I don't even have my music on today. It's not even that time yet. How is your Friday going, sir? I hope you're doing well. Let me get some music playing in the background while we chat and converse. I welcome all my Friday friends. It's a little bit early. I'm still going live later at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a special presentation to do. I'm just here in the room. I've got something special for the system. I've got new cables, and I wanted to just come in here and get some talking points in, showcase my new cables. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, those cables are a waste of time, cables, blah, blah, blah. You know how it is. And that's fine. I don't expect everybody to agree with cable choice. Everything in audio is personal, after all. So let me just get something on the copyright side, copyright free. Turning on my Hagel preamp over here. That's the unit powering up, powering the capacitors, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna hit play on my laptop over here. Whoops, I just showcased my feet. So I'm gonna hit play over here. Should be Qobuz if I'm honest, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so that will be playing through the Weem Pro Plus over here. And this one, all I gotta do is just turn the volume up. Neil's here, Anthesius is here, nice crew. All right, if you guys want to get into it, I'm gonna, okay, you didn't see it that time. Copyright music. Ignore that little device in the floor beside us. Cable unboxing, woo! How are you finding the P20? Neil, thank you very much for the suggestion. I'm pretty sure it was you that talked to me about it. It's really head and shoulders above the others. Yeah, I like it. I like it. What I don't like is the volume is really touchy. Like a small little turn on the dial and the volume's like it's like it changes so suddenly because of the potentiometer pot that I'm not really sure how I like that. I haven't used the remote yet, so I don't know what the clickingness is all about, but it sounds great. It's got really great definition. High frequency clarity is very, very good. And yes, so Neil K, thank you to Hagel, first of all, for lending me the unit, because they're just like, yeah, sure, check it out for a while and let us know your thoughts and post your opinions. And you know what? So it's advertising for Hagel, which is essentially what's going on. So Hagel Canada hooked me up with this one. I'm borrowing it. It is a demo unit as far as I can tell. I don't think this was brand new. Just from the way the package showed up, some of the boxing, the remote packaging, things like that. I mean, the batteries are fresh, so can't be that used. But from my opinion, perspective on it, I think that the unit is used. A previous demo, sample, something like that. Yeah. Anyways, we are here today to do some unboxing, and I'm gonna answer any questions anybody has. Also, while I have like 8 or so people here, I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm going live again 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do a special presentation for Audio Group Denmark, Borison Acoustics, Ansus, Avic Electronics, Axis Electronics and Speakers, that whole Audio Group Denmark. I will be showcasing the event that I was at, photos, some video clips, but I want to keep the video clips very short because of copyright. I'm not getting paid to do anything. I wasn't paid to do the event. I wasn't paid to do photography. I barely get paid at all through YouTube at all. So I have to maintain some of these things somehow. It is work after all. And you know what it's like. I mean, yes, audio is a passion project, but any little bit of money that I make all year helps me get to the next big event. So if I have to pay to go to Montreal, if I have to pay to go to New York or LA or Florida or Chicago for Expona or any of the other shows that are going on throughout the year, the only way that I'm able to do that is if I try to pull money together somehow from somewhere. And that's why I try not to get anything copywritten on my platform. Okay, we're going to turn the music down a little bit. So there's a couple people, about 7 people. I don't know how many people can comment, but comment the first 2 things. Do you want to see the new cool shirts that I got, or do you want to see the cables first? So just write in the comments which ones you want to see first. I'm sure nobody wants to see the shirts that I bought. Just like nobody wants to see my feet, or like why I have a mirror in my room. Like, ta-da! I have a mirror in my room. And the speaker stands I want to maybe fill them with sand and refinish them in a white color. Obviously, my room is white and it will probably remain white. But do people like the contrast, like the white and black? Do we like contrast on speakers? Ate the pizza? No. I don't have those. White stands are a look. Yes, yeah. I think if I redo them, I think I might either wrap them or just strip the nasty the cheap vinyl wrapping that's on it. Just rip that off and then just paint them white. Because my Radiant acoustics are white. I mean, these actually match my Bucard audios, but I got other stands for those. So yeah, I might just hold off on it. So I'm waiting for some company makes white woofers and speakers. Yes. So Paradigm used to make polypropylene woofers, not like these. These are coated paper. Same with the woofer there. I think the woofer is also coated paper. Paper's very light. It's got you can modify it in such a way that it's got good damping and rigidity properties. Polypropylene has like this weird sound. I think a lot of people just voted against it throughout the 90s. A lot of brands started making them that way, and they just kind of got rejected. So you can You can coat them a certain way. The thing that a lot of people like, Yamaha HS8s, HS5s, 7s, 8s. I believe there's a couple of other brands. If it's not aluminum cones, and I don't know, SB Acoustics makes them, RBH makes them, but white surrounds, that's another thing entirely. You might have a white cone, but almost all of them have a black rubber surround. I have rarely ever seen a white surround. And then there are some brands like Kef that does an amazing job hiding the surrounds. So yeah, anyways, let's get to the shirts first, just because I want to tease everybody, but I won't be that long. And then we'll get to the actual cables, which are right here, just off camera. I'm not even gonna do that. So the shirts first. Do you guys want to see me open them, or just keep watching the system? You can kind of see me in the background. I'm over here. That's why I have the mirror. Let me move these cables. I can actually move the camera over a little bit. You guys still want to see the system. You don't really want to see me. Can't do that. I can't get both in the shot at the same time. I'm sorry, fam. All right. You guys can hear it, and then I'll put it up in front of the camera. These came from a company called Neophoric. That's NEO4, the number, IC. He and they, I say he because I know the owner and the designer, have bought a lot of stuff from. I'm actually wearing a shirt from his previous collection that's very old now. And damn, this one's like music related. I think that says Junglist on the bottom, and it's reflective, I think. I'm not sure if this one is. So that one's a really cool one. Of course, I have jungle and drum and bass in my repertoire. That's something I've always appreciated. They're all usually like music related, and the style and fashion is something that I've always appreciated. So again, I've been buying shirts from the company, the brand, which is a US brand made in the US. The shirts are printed, designed, shipped, all that stuff from the US. This one is actually pretty crazy, and this one I actually showed to Scott Newby at Scott and Kat's podcast. A little bit more wild. You can't really see what's going on there. Let's say at the top it says set free, and then on the back that says bass. Set free through bass. So this is like a bass head shirt, and the ink is reflective, so if I got a flashlight or something, you can actually see the ink shine on the back. So I'm not going to model them. There's no sense in modeling them. That's not cool. But I will get to the feature of the day. I will be talking about the new cables. That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna pan the camera down and open them up sort of like at my feet. Proper unboxing right here. So professional. Phone is freaking out. Stay with me. Stay with me. It'll be worth it, I promise. Okay. This is actually kind of tricky. Now I don't want to talk too loud because the camera's like right in my face. So I've opened them before. They did come wrapped up completely. so people can pause and read it later on. So those are the Ultimate Series. They are made in Taiwan. And then there's a thing in here that says, so furthermore, we almost, as almost all online sellers offering returns, we heartily encourage you to go for cables that are 10 to 50 times more than what you spent on our cables. A/B test against ours and keep the performing cables and return the rest. Happy listening. Warm regards. Team of world's best. That's a pretty bold claim to be like, well, if you buy other cables and try them at whatever price, you can keep the ones you like and you can send the other ones back. And these are awesome. They're fabric wrapped. They're like a tweed sort of woven wrap. Yes, they are 7 gauge. Some wild tunes. So they're 7 gauge. So this is double strands. I don't know if this is probably 2 sets of 12s into Eminence. I think Eminence. It wants to focus on the further. There we go. So Eminence binding post, the split kind. There we go. Always wants to focus on the background. I don't know why. Anyways, so they're 8 feet lengths. They were a really good price. And this is how they actually come bundled. They're wrapped up with little nylon straps. And then there's a branded bag around each of the connector ends so that the tips are not exposed to any kind of like shock or whatever inside the bag or during shipping. So it's a little bit of a difference in length there from the hub. Small differences. I think I'm gonna. So this feels flat, double wires, and then they're bound together with a giant connector in here. This is probably welded and crimped. Very good stuff. Anthesius is saying the towers would look infinitely better with white foam surrounds. Yeah. White flanges, the baskets. I don't know. I mean, like they make other... See, here's the thing. A lot of brands have to go on what sells the most. They have an obligation to get their returns. And if we're honest, I don't think white speakers and white features sell the most. So the idea that I mean, I would personally like that. I guess in a higher end speaker, you could definitely get away with that. There we go. You could definitely get away with white hardware, like the baskets, the flange, the surround, the waveguide, the tweeter. The thing is to get all white materials and then make sure they don't stain or change color over time. Yeah, personally, I don't like white speakers. Yeah, and for a lot of people, it's a no-go. I mean, they would prefer black, dark wood, walnut, real wood finish. Like my Bicard Audios. My Bicard Audio 810s make some of the best finish. Let me just walk through the space. It is super, super hot today, so like this finish. I'm sure that most people, sorry about the flickering, but there's nothing, that's the light frequencies. So that this finish, this wood finish is probably like more favorable in like a real deep grain, like real wood, like really, really high pitched, solid made. And they're incredible. I mean, if you don't really want big amps anywhere and you've got a small space, those are incredible. So that's a dark, I think it's a dark walnut finish, and I really like those too. So that's why I'm conflicted right now, because I love that this all matches and I can change the color in the background, and I can, you know what I mean? Like I can do all that stuff with the white subs, everything matches. But now moving forward, there's a brand of speaker that I wanted to get that doesn't offer anything in a wood grain unless you move way up in the line. And that sucks for me, because I wouldn't mind trying something different. So in this white room, the way that it's all lit up, you guys have seen it, most of you. What would you suggest? I mean, the amps, I can change the plate there. Buckeye Audio actually offers painted chassis. So, I mean, I have them now. It sucks. I can't send them away and get them painted and send it back. That would suck. I don't have any other amps to use in the meantime. I mean, I might be able to borrow some. Hagel's been very, very generous. But what color speakers in this space do you think would go well? I would love to get a pair of speakers with like birch bark finish, because that's white. It's got little black striations in it. It's got the features of the you know what I mean? And you've never seen that. There has never been a pair of speakers with a birch oak finish, because why would you? It's like paper. The bark is like paper. You couldn't finish a speaker like that. Neil says my speakers are metallic gray. So here's something. The Paradigm group, Paradigm Martin Logan, it's PML group now, I think. Anyways, they offered to send me the Golden Ear T44s, which I've seen in red before. That's basically the only color I've seen them. But they also recommended these. So what do you think about the blue? I mean, these don't come in white either. And they do have a natural finish. They do have a red. I mean, I think the red would be too much in here. They do have a gray. They have like a softer gray. Yeah, that doesn't look like gray. That looks like black. They look pretty uniform in black, but would the contrast of black speakers in the room be too much? Just to be solid black? And then, of course, they do have the walnut finish. Real natural walnut finish. Matching subs, probably. I mean, I could probably keep white for the theater, which is counterintuitive. Most people want black for the theater. And then, of course, there's this one, which is a little more subtle. The midnight, that's the cherry midnight or midnight cherry finish. Gloss finish, wood grain, deep. I think that would be pretty nice too. I like red. I mean, I wish they had this one in different colors. That would be really cool. But anyways, they suggested something in the color range. Something else I was looking at the other day. Check these out. If I can find the chassis from the top. Check these amps out. These are M Audio. They're hexagonal cut. A Class AB. I think those would look really, really cool in here. Hold on. My so the yeah, I mean I have the Buckeyes now, and these are like 8 pounds. These are probably like 50 pounds, Class AB heat generating. I don't know. I mean, it would look nice, but I'm considering this change. Do I want to go with other colors instead of the cherry, the red, right? Yeah. The thing is, I mean, most of you guys know this room was a tribute for my mom, and white was a theme that I decided to go with to begin with. And I don't feel like I'm betraying that memory if I put in other colors, because she had a lot of natural wood colors around the house and really enjoyed things of that sort. So I think that, I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, I think my mom would say, do whatever you like enjoy it, enjoy what you like, and that's what means the most. She's a very humble sort of person, so the fact that I'm trying to, have like a memorial or that kind of thing would probably be over the top. But I like the white because I can change the colors and it feels like welcoming, but maybe I can contrast on the speakers and go a different color. Even though even though I did just get cables that match the carpet and the white color in here. So now I've got these cables that are they're quad strand twisted pairs, and then the really awesome banana plug. So I'm going to be checking these out today before 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. I'm doing the live for the event. So yeah, I think these ultimate cables were not even very much money. They were under $300 for the pair, 8-foot pair for under $300 with a return guarantee. I mean, Amazon's already got a number of days guarantee returns, and then to say that like they'll refund and return cables if you've compared them to other things. And if I like anything, I mean, that's huge. I don't know that I'm going to hear a difference, to be honest. I mean, the ones that I have now are 12 gauge oxygen-free copper, and how much more oxygen-free can you get? The only other thing that you can do with cables is proper shielding and dielectrics and the geometry, so you get cancellation of the signals in their geometry. Like, I think M101s or 101Ms and Acoustica cables, the ones that are like, they're air insulated, you've seen them. They're like 1.5 inches around, 2 inches around, and the strands run around like this circle, and then they cover the whole thing in some sort of a wrap. So the cables look like a giant snake like that, and then they shield the outside. So everything it's air insulated, which is a huge, I mean, in order for voltage to jump a gap, the voltage level needs to be like above 50,000 volts or something like that. Not in current, but in voltage. The level of potentiality has to be high enough, like when you shock your finger rubbing your feet on the carpet in the winter or whatever the case may be. I'm pretty sure that it has to be higher than 50,000. And we know that speaker level barely reaches 50. Barely, maybe 25. So you're not going to get any kinds of like leakage of voltage between any cables if it's if it's wrapped in air, basically air insulated. If it's in the cables, then I need to ask people, like in most of the, like a lot of these brands that are selling $700,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 speaker cables, maybe even more, how much of that cost goes into creating that quality? Could it be achieved at a lower level? And I don't know. I've never actually sat down and had a really, really good demo done. All of them are too slow. All of the A/B tests, there's too much like variability for anybody to say, oh, it's those or those. And I've heard people test them out. And I know Danny Ritchie at GR Research has got some, and his cables look like just like Kimber cables. Essentially, they're woven pairs just like Kimber, essentially. And then there's the air insulated cables, and then how is there? I don't know. I don't know what to believe with cables. These have a nice coat covering. They're really large. The amplifier can put out increased current, and it's got capacitors in it. So I wanted cables that are going to be durable, fashionable, cheap enough, and they're going to be able to handle the amount of. I think about it, these are 4-ohm speakers with 500 watts at 4-ohm amps. I need the speaker cables to be able to keep up. I'm not going to run like 16 gauge cable between these. I mean, it really only needs to be 3 feet, but come on. For spark plugs to jump the gap, the minimum is around 15 kilovolts, 20 to 30 in high energy, about 40 or more. Yeah, see, there you go. So 15 kilovolts in order to jump the gap, and a spark plug gap is very small. So you think about how much energy that is. It's low current, but the gap is what I'm talking about. It's an EMF. What I'm talking about in general with cables is an EMF, which is electromagnetic field. The electromagnetic field in a cable, because the voltage is only 25 volts, I really don't know how far that EMF field is reaching out around the cable. Do I need to raise them off the floor? You know what I mean? Like, if your cable shielding is good enough, and the dielectric material like Teflon or otherwise is good enough, then the space in the cable itself is probably enough to maintain and shield the EMF. But then we're talking about audio quality. So it's not something that, it's not about signal integrity, it's about what can you hear. So it's a really, really strange sort of thing. Philly VR says, I wish I had a speaker. Well, it takes time. I didn't get these overnight. It took probably 15 years to get to this point. But you got to start somewhere. And if you have a good idea, if you have good teachers, if you have people around you that can encourage you and tell you the right things and show you some new stuff and allow you to listen to cool stuff, then you could probably get something cool. And I just noticed something annoying. This cable over here is stuffed underneath my subwoofer. It's not supposed to be sticking out. All right, so to wrap up the stream, I'm going to show the shirts off one more time. Again, the company is Neophoric. Set free through base. All right. And of course, the world's best cables. It's a pretty bold name. Imagine world's best Kleenex, world's best tires, world's best garden hoses, world's best chicken. Sure do look like spines. Oh yeah, the what's it called? The shirt prints on the back. Yeah, I like the vertical. I like the vertical print of that company. So, anyways, there it is. Almost 40 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here. Again, I'm going live again. Anybody that listens to this in the meantime, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing a showcase of photos from the Audio Group Denmark event here in Ontario, Canada. That was with EQ Audio and Video. I'll be showcasing all the photos, doing some video clips, having a chat. The owners of the store, I didn't know this, The owners of the store are celebrating their 16th anniversary, wedding anniversary today. So they messaged me, said thanks a lot, thanks for doing the video, blah blah blah. We saw the live, but we're going to be doing this, so we may not be able to stop in, and I don't blame them. They work very hard for what they're doing. So cheers to them celebrating 16 years, 25 years together. That's incredible. I wonder what took them 9 years to figure it out. I'm just playing. I love those guys. They're incredible people. And so join us later on, or join me later on, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing all the Borson acoustics and AVIC electronic stuff, the C2, X6, and the new Unity 188 and 288 integrated stuff, demos, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for being here and enjoying this stream. I'm going to be doing the other one later. Again, this was all about the cables, to be honest, and I really do like these. So I'm going to plug them in. They're a little bit shorter than the ones I have now, but I'm pretty sure they're going to reach. I mean, honestly, how far is that? That's not very far. So I might change the bridge. Let me just hold my camera. So if you guys see that they are biampable, and they are using the rhodium plated jumpers, and I think those are good enough, but World's Best Cables makes jumpers too. They're just, I mean, for $60 a pair, I'm not really sure if I really need to spend that much money for that. I think the jumpers here are good enough. And I'm plugging the cables in directly to the high frequency terminals instead of the base on purpose. That would make a difference. So I think the base frequencies are fine, and I think the tweeters are going to get the high frequency treatment. These are on sale. I put them on sale a little while ago on Canuck Audio Mart. Looking towards new speakers in the future, I need to get rid of something. And because I have the Radiant Acoustics in the other room and they need amps right now, the only amps I have are here, and the stands are here to make the swap over, but there's been no takers yet. Arundel they've released their new speakers, and I guess maybe some of those people upgraded and they let a lot of these other speakers go, and now I'm kind of holding on to them, but they are for sale. It's just a transition that I'm going to go through. I have ideas for my next speakers. Again, I have some of those opportunities. We'll see what happens. And in the meantime, I'm going to plug these cables in and then get back to everybody about them. Just give them their dues, plug them in, and see what happens. And then I'll report back on my honest opinion. Cool? And then shout out to Friday weather. That grass life. All right. See everybody at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And have a great weekend.